There it goes. Hey, YouTubers. DasGregor again for, I promise, my last rant for the evening. Yesterday I went to the doctor's and just a general checkup and having problems with my blood pressure. It's high. It averages about 150 over 99 to 170 over 99. It's terrible. I've been on blood pressure medicine for the last 3-4 months trying to find something that works for me. They've upgraded me everything from Lotril 510, Lotril 1020, Toprol 50 milligram. Now I'm on Toprol 100 milligram. I take my blood pressure every night before bed. Maybe it's because of these rants that I'm so high blood pressure. Who knows? Little things get to me sometimes. But after we're all done, we were talking about a cold I had a couple weeks ago. I think you might have remembered when I last did this. I was talking really low, and I had a really sore throat. And that was mostly because I still getting over this, what I just thought was a cold. Just hit me in the chest really badly. I'm slightly concerned about it, but I'm better now. I was telling him about it, and he thought, well, if you're worried about it, we can go ahead and run some tests. Out here in Arizona, they have this thing called valley fever that you sometimes get in your chest, and my folks were telling me, I think you've got valley fever. It's a lot like pneumonia. So I was telling him, and I'll tell you what, I'll go ahead and set up some lab work, so if your family's that worried about it, you can go ahead and do this. It's up to you, but he said, I don't think you have anything to worry about. He starts to get out a piece of paper, and he starts writing it for a specific lab company that is very convenient and easy to get to. It's right there at the hospital. And then after he fills halfway out, he says, oh, wait, I can't do this for you anymore. I went, oh, no, what, I can't have lab work? He says, no, I can't use this company. Your insurance company, which I won't name because I don't want to badmouth them, is they've decided that they're only going to work with this other lab company. I said, okay, all right, guess that's fine. So I go to check out afterwards, and I say, oh, by the way, he told me I have to go to this specific lab company, and I'm not familiar with where they are. Do you have a list of where their offices are? Oh, yeah, here you go. I'm looking at this list. They were everywhere but where I live. Not one anywhere near the hospital where I go to, and now I got to find this lab company that's in the middle of nowhere. And I asked my doctor, why did they do this when I've got all of these convenient other companies that are right here for me to use? And he said, well, sometimes specific lab companies will go to the insurance and they'll say, if you sign up with us and we give us your business, we will give you a better deal for this. And the insurance company can decide yes or no. Well, never once does the insurance company say, oh, well, that's really not in the best interest of our clients because that's going to put them out of their way to have to do this. No, great price, great. Screw our clients, screw our patients. Who cares about them? We're just going to do whatever's great. So I looked at where these locations were. I said, well, forget this. I'm over this cold. If it happens again, maybe I'll worry about it. I don't think I have valley fever that bad to go trying to find this lab company. That's just plain ridiculous. It's as bad as the prescription drug companies out there that try to tell me that I am allowed to have this prescription drug, but I'm not allowed to have that prescription drug. And they'll pay for the generic for this one, but they won't pay for the premium for that one. I'm paying thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars every year for my family to have insurance, just so they can come back and tell me that, oh, well, we've decided that you shouldn't have that. A good example of this is about 5 or 6 years ago, I used to get hives all over, and we were trying to figure out what in the world is it that I'm allergic to. And you couldn't figure out. My doctor finally sent me to an allergist, and the allergist did all kinds of tests, and couldn't seem to find too much that might be the cause. He thought it was stress related. I told him, I'm in a job right now that has almost no stress. Everything's going well. Nothing is stressing me out this time. There's no stress whatsoever in my life. It can't be stress. There's something else the matter. And what we found out was after they had put me on different medications to try things at that time, that they were putting me on Allegra, and that seemed to help alleviate at least the hives for the time. And what it boiled down to is I'm allergic to aspirin. Okay, well, that's not too bad. Stay away from things like Pepto-Bismol. Did you know that Pepto-Bismol has aspirin in it? I didn't know that. The blood pressure pills that I was on at that time had aspirin in it. I didn't know that either. Luckily, my allergist asked me what type of blood pressure pills I was on, and he took me off them immediately. And once I got off the meds that I found out had all this aspirin in it, the hives disappeared. I no longer had to take Allegra, but my allergist continued to give me samples just in case, because I do have slight hay fever that comes and goes, and so I use those for that. It's amazing how it just clears it up and it makes it go away. Well, all of a sudden, my insurance company decides we're not going to insure you for certain drugs like Allegra that you can find over the counter. Well, I'm sorry. 90% of over-the-counter drugs don't do diddly squat because they've had to dummy them up so badly that they might as well just be placebos with an itty-bitty little bit of medicine. It's just like cold medicine. What's happened to cold medicine? It used to be that if I got a really bad cold, I could go get some NyQuil, a couple tablespoons of that at night, knock me out, I could sleep well, get a good rest, and in the morning wake up, take something that would handle it without being sleepy and be great for the rest of the day. Guess what? Try to find cold medicine on the over-the-counter nowadays that has anything that will help you sleep, and good luck to you, because you're not going to find anything. It's all been stripped of anything worthwhile. This new cold medicine for the last couple times I've gotten it had done diddly squat to help me. It's worthless. I might as well just drink a hot toddy that I made on my own and not even bother going to the drugstore to try and find things. It's ridiculous. And back to the prescription drugs. You know, it's amazing. Okay, well, you can have this, you're paying all this money for this prescription drug care plan, and you have this copay that's reasonable, but only if you get their generic version of the drug. And as soon as you get a premium version or the brand name version, formulary version, then all of a sudden you're paying out the yang-yang. You know, your $5 copay all of a sudden went to anywhere from $75 to $200 for 5 pills or something. It's ridiculous. When did it become the insurance company's decision to second guess your doctor and your pharmacy as to what the best prescription that you should be taking is? Now, I understand that you have a generic version sometimes that technically has the exact same active ingredients as, say, a formulary or a brand name, and you're paying all this money for the name of the drug, when what actually works in the drug is the same thing as a generic. I can understand that. But what really gets me is when they decide that you can take the over-the-counter crap that doesn't do diddly, and it replaces the stuff that they give you with the pharmacy. That's my rant. I know healthcare in other places is a lot worse. I guess at least I have choice, and if I have to go to the doctor, I can do that. I recently went in for an MRI, and I got a bill the other day for $200. Well, I understood that my insurance was supposed to cover 100% of this. So I get to my insurance company, and I look at this, and they say, oh yeah, the claim for on February 22nd, yeah, there was this $200 claim. We've paid $126 of it, and the patient's obligation is $0. So they paid $126 of a $200 bill, and they're going to write off the rest. Why can't I be charged the $126 and not pay the insurance company thousands of dollars so that they can make this agreement to write off the rest? Charge me for what it's worth. About 5 or 6 years ago, I also had this lump that grew in my throat. And they thought at first it was cancer, and luckily it wasn't. It was benign. But I went to the doctor. They looked at it. They did a They did a CAT scan of it. They did an ultrasound. They found this just goose egg that had grown around my Adam's apple. The funny thing about this is, I just thought I had a manly Adam's apple. And after I went to this doctor, and he looked at it and said, this isn't right. We need to look at this. I went for the first test, and they said, okay, what's the matter? And I said, yeah, I got a growth in my neck. And they said, okay, lean back. The nurse looked at me, and as I leaned back, I went, oh my. Oh, that didn't seem right. So she took the test and said, yeah, there's this big mass here. I'll send it to your doctor. The doctor then says, okay, yeah, we definitely have something. I want you a CAT scan to see what it is. They sent me in for the CAT scan. They looked and said, okay, what do you have a problem with again? Oh, there's something growing in my throat. Okay, well, lean back your throat. So I lean back. Oh, my. This is getting scary. Everybody looks at this thing and goes, oh, my. So he refers me to a surgeon, a specialist, to look at this thing. And he does the exact same thing. He's like, you're here in here for what again? Oh, okay, lean back. Oh, my. I guess this thing was huge. After I was telling some of my coworkers about it, they said, yeah, we kind of noticed you were getting kind of a large neck, but we didn't want to say anything. I said, why didn't you guys say something? When it happens to you, you don't notice something gradually getting bigger and bigger. I guess when it came out to here, maybe I might have noticed something, but no, it's just a big growth right here. Well, I went in and had surgery. It was only a $125 copay. That's great. I can't complain about that. But then I got the paperwork from the surgical center. That was a $5,000 surgery to remove this goose egg cyst that was inside my throat. And the insurance company ended up paying about $2,000 of that. And then they wrote off another $3,000 or $2,875 because my copay was $125. What's up with that? If it only costs $2,000 to do the surgery, why can't they just charge me $2,000 to do the surgery instead of me having to pay, once again, thousands upon thousands of dollars to the insurance company so that I have the privilege of them negotiating and only charging the insurance company the true amount when I would get slammed with that? Just imagine if I didn't have insurance. Just imagine all those people out there who don't have insurance, how they get slammed every day with unneeded, bloated charges that they shouldn't have to pay. And why? Because I can afford to pay for insurance? Do I get this? Somewhere, some regulation needs to go in there, and someone needs to tell these guys, hey, if it only costs $15 and that's with your 15, 20, 30% profit on top of it, only charge them $15. Don't go in there and charge you $50 for this and $75 for that when it only costs $25 and $30. Why should I be penalized because I don't want to heap riches upon these insurance companies and these pharmacies? It's ridiculous. It makes me want to give up my career in computers and go back into the medical profession just so I can be a part of this get rich scheme, because that's what it seems like to me. Is it's just nothing but a get rich quick scheme. Granted, okay, I don't know how many years it takes to become a doctor. I don't know how many years it takes to become a pharmacist, but that's no excuse for price gouging, and that's just exactly what the medical industry has become. A huge price gouging industry. I don't know what the answer is, but we need to do something soon, because otherwise, we're going to be lost. We're going to be in a lot of hurt. Anyway, that's that for this rant, and I'll try to calm down. We'll try to post some other stuff that might be good. Hope you don't mind these too long rants. Enjoy them. Turn them off if you don't like to. But if you feel the same way, airlines and their fares, insurance rates and their fares, yeah, give me a holler. Let me know what you think. Until then, auf Wiedersehen, tschüss, arrivederci. Whatever you're having, have it. Good day, good evening, good night. Bye.